When you work in tech at Cox, you get to do meaningful work every day. You get to be the biker who codes as fast as he rides, crafting advanced tech solutions that transform car buying. Or a guitarist who develops harmonious apps and websites, connecting people and businesses, all in real time. A savvy soccer mom running solution sets as passionately as she runs gameplays. Be the super secret keeper, designing cybersecurity systems to protect private data and websites. A planet protector, expanding EV battery life and inventing more ways to build a better future for all. When you work in tech at Cox, you get to do career-defining work that solves the greatest problems of our time. Join us and connect to work that improves lives, including yours. Learn more about our family of businesses at cox.career/tech.
Hey, it's Ryan Seacrest. Life comes at you fast, which is why it's important to find some time to relax. A little you time. Enter Chumba Casino. With no download required, you can jump on anytime, anywhere for the chance to redeem some serious prizes. So treat yourself with Chumba Casino and play over 100 online casino-style games, all for free. Go to ChumbaCasino.com to collect your free welcome bonus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Gabrielle from A Step Ahead Tutoring Services. Welcome to a brand new episode of Hot Topics. So, if you're not already familiar with us, this is the web series where we talk, real talk about things in education, employment, mental health, physical health, anything else that is steamy. And today, I am very excited to have my guest because our topic today is, I have my banner, Young Entrepreneurship Part 2. We did a previous episode on another youngin who is an entrepreneur, and it is amazing to be able to have yet another young person who wants to start their own business and or who already started their business and has that career mindset. Because what I said with the previous speaker, these young people, they start in them businesses early. Me, I started my business officially like 8 years ago. I think in my upper 20s. But these youngins, they start in them earlier and earlier, and they are getting into the field and they're getting that life experience. Because let me tell you, being an entrepreneur, it is not easy. There's definitely a lot that goes into it. And the thing that is so awesome about these kids starting this early is that they are gaining life skills that will carry them into their adulthood. So they are gaining skills like balancing checkbooks or doing accounting. They have to interact with people for customer service. They have to problem solve. They have to hire people. They have to figure out the cost of items, and they have to use that information to figure out what to pay their employees. So there's a lot of math and percentages that's involved. So, these are a lot of life skills that, we adults are still trying to figure out, but these young kids, they're figuring it out now. And that is just awesome. So, my guest who is going to help me facilitate this discussion, his name is Jacob Wojtowicz, and I'm going to tell you about him. So, who is Jacob Wojtowicz? Let me tell you. So, Jacob Wojtowicz is the owner and was the owner and founder of Jacob Snow Removal. He is a 17-year-old entrepreneur currently in the 11th grade at Wando High School. The last speaker was also from Wando High School, so there's something about this high school. So Jacob Snow Removal offered residential and commercial snow shoveling and plowing. They held over 120 contracts, including some big name brands like Costco, Lululemon, TD Bank, and Target. Jacob Snow Removal grew to be one of the best and largest snow removal companies serving the North Shore of Long Island, New York. Jacob has since sold the business and moved on to the world of real estate investments. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'm going to bring Jacob to the stage. Hi, Jacob. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. I'm excited for the interview.
Of course, of course. So I am very much looking forward to hearing from you. If you can go ahead and share your story about entrepreneurship, I'm going to pass the baton over to you.
Sure. So, like I said, thank you for having me again. I appreciate it. I kind of got started with entrepreneurship, business, kind of that whole aspect of everything. Back in my 9th grade year of education, I got into that and kind of went full force with it. So as a kid, I was always going back and forth of what I wanted to do. I've always wanted to have my own business. I would go door to door and knock on the door and, ask to shovel people's driveways, when I was younger with my older brother, just kind of to make some extra cash here and there. And then I saw how profitable it was and how I could grow that and expand it to actually serve the rest of Long Island. We had a few instances where there wasn't enough snow removal companies out there that were actually servicing for shoveling and like residential properties. So that was a major issue that I saw that I could fix and be able to profit from. So that's kind of where I really got the idea for started to create Jacob Snow Removal rather. And it kind of just went from there. Like Gabrielle stated, I started with, learning how to deal with the money, the numbers, the employees, talking to customers, dealing with customer service, having, a relationship with that customer, to be able to answer questions, to go over a contract, to be able to share kind of what we did as a company with them, to be able to provide the best service we could, at the best rate that was worth it for the customer and the client and the client and the company itself, which was Jacob Snow Removal at the time. So I kind of went through that. I grew that. We got major contracts and phone calls. We were just overloaded. We grew to a crazy size. We were handling over 120 contracts. We had Costco, Lululemon, TD Bank, Bank of America. We had, big names like that we were just dealing with on a normal snowy basis. If it was to snow, they'd have certain things, certain areas of those properties of their businesses that they would like to have handled and have cleaned and cleared and salted and safe for their clientele, for themselves to be able to open and operate. Along with, we had residential places, communities, homes that needed to be cleared. We had a lot of elderly people who could not shovel themselves and they needed to get out. They had to get to the airport, or they had to get to work or whatnot. So, we really had to prioritize who needed to leave first, and who was okay to have it come later in the day. We'd always give some sort of window from the end of the storm to when their property would be cleared. And within that, just trying to provide the best service to anyone and everyone who we came in contact with. I was with a crew that, on our way to the next property, we got behind someone who got stuck in the snow in a minivan. So we got out and helped them out along with their way. They made their day and did something good and continued on. But other than that, that's kind of all encapsulated within entrepreneurship and kind of learning and creating and being a part of your community. I think that's major. Yes.
Thank you so much for that.
Of course.
So as a youngin', you're running a business while in school. I can imagine that's a lot to balance. So can you talk about how you balanced running a business and going to school?
Sure. Yeah, of course. So that I can say I tried. I don't think I ever was able to figure that out really. It was definitely a struggle. I was doing it on a daily basis, especially when there was a snowstorm, especially when I had phone calls and emails and requests coming in, text messages, and then dealing with employees, setting, plans and maps and, our plan for the storm and what we were going to get done. Yeah, definitely. That was a lot of work. And I kind of took that to be my job. Instead of letting other people do it, I kind of, focused on doing that myself. So that was definitely some extra work. And I think it kind of, at that point, school kind of just fit into where I could fit it in. Obviously, it's a major priority for me, school. So I didn't let that go to the wayside. But I definitely felt like during the specific storms and the times that we were really busy, school kind of went to the side. But having a balance of that, I think, is really important in the future. I think finding that balance, especially if it's going to be a long-term business, not just a seasonal one, or something that's not going to be every single day, or a product rather, you're going to find that balance is going to be a little bit easier to find because you're not overloaded every single day of the week. But I think whatever floats your boat at the end of the day, what you can make work and what makes your business successful, along with your personal goals, whether it's school, personal goals for yourself that you have outside of, the workforce or whatever that may be, finding balance even for family as well. I think that's super important. And that's just something that you kind of feel is right when you're in the whole situation, and you can find time for whatever is right for you.
How to have fun, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Awesome. So how did you operate your business? Did you do everything by yourself?
So no. So I did a lot of the background kind of estimates, clientele service, customer service, reaching out, getting contracts and stuff, handled all the digital kind of background work. I mostly handled myself. I had some assistants, and then I had some employees who were going out to properties, who were plowing, who were shoveling, who were, transporting salt, who were transporting machines, whatever needed to be done. I mapped out every property, different areas of Long Island. We had crews assigned to each area, and we could easily bang out the properties that needed to be done in a timely manner. That's really how we were able to install a plan to have a guaranteed time for clients and everything like that. So we had a huge team. I'd say about 12 people in total, kind of working from the start to the end, in plowing, customer service, giving estimates. We kind of had people answering the phones. It was when we got super busy, especially for those heavy storms, answering voicemails, getting back to people who needed help, who needed to get out. I think that was the major part that we all kind of work together. But for the background kind of digital stuff, I definitely worked on the number stuff. I handled mostly, yes, ma'am.
So I'm wondering how did you do in school in terms of keeping your grades up, turning in assignments, things like that? So did your business get in the way of fulfilling your obligations as a student?
Sure. So I think in certain aspects, definitely, I got kind of overloaded with phone calls and emails and contracts that needed to be done and estimates that needed to be returned. Personally, I did not have an issue staying on top of school and being able to complete, assignments on time. My grades always have been, high and stayed high. I've really had personally no struggle with them dropping. I kind of just found my balance and I found what was important to me.
So what did your parents say when you said, I want to start a business? What were your family's reaction?
So from the beginning, since I was so young, I feel like it was kind of a shock. But then moving forward, they were nothing but supportive and they were willing to help me, do whatever needed to be done. At that time, I could not drive yet. Now I can, but getting me to the properties to be able to give estimates, to reach out to customers, to do those kinds of things. I think, yes, 100% they were supportive of me and my decision and what I wanted to do. So through those 2 years, definitely, I think that it's, important to be able to, especially at such a young age, incorporate your parents, keep them in the loop of what's going on so they kind of have an idea and they can understand kind of the stressors that you're going through at a young age as well. But I think that in my personal experience, they were nothing but supportive.
Awesome. That's awesome. So the business that you ran was snow removal and power washing. So what made you choose that arena to focus your business on?
Okay. So I'd say kind of like I went into a little bit before, but not into much detail, that there was really a demand for residential, snow removal, snow shoveling rather, and plowing in the area of Long Island that I was in. Many of the major companies that were there, they did more of the commercial big parking lots. They just saw dollar signs and they went for big and more money. My approach to it was, growing the team, maybe having, a little less money for certain properties, but being able to have more of them, in the end would have the same profit result as if I would only do major properties. I had properties ranging anywhere from $60 to $4,000, per 6 inches of snow. So I think it was kind of the way of looking at it and saying, hey, I can grow this area of need into something that's profitable like the other companies. And then also that I was, I did it when I was a young kid with my brother. We went door to door and, we shoveled the driveway for $20. Obviously, a lot less. We were kids and we really didn't even, back then we thought $20 was a lot. So, we were there, doing it for that. But I think that was a major drive. And then also, that was something that I was in New York. Everyone was shoveling snow, and in high school, that was just something kids did to make extra money. And I was like, you know what, let's just grow it. Let's make it big and let's, try to help as many people as we can.
So you started the business with your brother?
No, I did business on my own. When I was little, we used to go door to door and shovel. But as the business, Jacob Snow Removal, and the contracts and all that encompassed was on my own. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I imagine that your customers, how did they interact with you directly, or was it with someone else? And what did they say about getting their services from someone your age?
So definitely I found that I in the beginning I got some complete mixed reactions. Some were absolutely amazing. People were ecstatic that someone so young could put on, such a big production, I like to say, and be able to handle the amount of clients that we had and the work that we had. And then I also had some people who said no. They were like, "You're too young. How do I know you're going to be responsible? You don't look responsible," or whatnot. Also had some nasty things said, but guess what? That's part of business. And I feel like I did nothing more than grow from that experience of people shooting, that down and saying, "Oh, you're just a kid. What do you know about snow removal or having a business," or things like that. And then, I would interact with people who were excited about it and left great reviews. So I think the good definitely outweighed the bad, but I definitely got a negative, was seen in a negative way in the beginning when I would talk to people on the phone, and then I get to there and meet them in person. They're like, I had no idea I was talking to a teenager. So that was kind of a weird interaction there. But I think in general, we had definitely a positive view, and we had tons of clients who were thankful. And really the next season, I'd say we have at least a 40% increase of clientele calling, and they were all 100% customer clientele recommendations. So I think that was also great to see.
Awesome. So of course you have to deal with the negative feedback, as you mentioned. So what strategies did you implement to address the feedback?
Sure. So I think the way I personally view the whole idea of customer service and dealing with a customer and having your own business is really to just understand where the customer is coming from, how they feel at the time, and what they want done about it. I feel like at the end of the day, you're making the customer happy. That's what you're there for. That's who you want to be happy. That's who you want to come back, and that's who you want to have a better day, have them have a good experience with your company. So I think really the end of the day was just making the customer happy, whether that was, refunding them their money for the one, mishap that happened, or even if in their eyes there was a mishap, instead of arguing back and forth, that one time just refunding the money and having that communication. I think that was always a positive. Or just figuring it out, or even instead of refunding it, just fixing the issue at hand. If that was, my driveway wasn't plowed correctly, get someone out there right away, even if it's shoveled, and just fix it, make it perfect, salt it even, just to get rid of that extra slush that was there, and just make the customer happy, because at the end of the day, that's the best you can do. And I think that's kind of the most important thing in the end, is as long as the customer is happy, then you can be happy with the product that you've been given.
So would you recommend, let me ask you this. What's the youngest age you think that anyone could start a business?
I think that's an open-ended question, because I think maturity comes at different ages, different levels. I think it also has a lot to do with, your life experiences. I've moved around so many times. I've been in different states. I've been in different cultures and different things, to be able to, and within all that, was forced to grow up, a lot faster and be more mature, and to be more of an adult a lot earlier on than many other people I know, or many other people I go to school with, or many other people that I've come encounter with. So I don't personally want to put an age on that, because I think that could, I don't want to stop anyone from starting something young. But I think that you just have to have the right mentality, you have to have the right reason, and you have to have the right drive and motivation to do it, and to be mature enough to do it. Because if you're not going to be mature, and you can't, handle a client, or, talk on the phone and have a conversation, I don't think it's going to be conducive to moving forward, not only with client relations, but issues down the road, money and everything, and having employees, and just having that, respectful, responsible, appropriate relationship with your employees, payment wise, scheduling, things like that. So I think I don't want to put an age on it, but I think maturity plays a big role. So I'd say, somewhere between middle school area age, time line, depending on maturity, I think that plays a big role.
How to have fun, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
So how did it work in terms of handling money? Did you have your own bank account? Did you have to use your parents' bank account? Did you tell your clients to pay in cash? Like how did that work?
So I've since beginning of middle school, even end of elementary school, I've always been kind of a step ahead maturity wise, financially and stuff like that. So I've already had an existing bank account for myself. Just the responsibility that came with that was there already. So that's why I had a bank account at such a young age and a debit card and whatnot. So starting the business, I opened a new account, a business account through the bank. And what came from that was I accepted credit cards, I accepted cash, check, Venmo. I kind of made it open to every type of payment possible to make it as easy on the client as it was, because majority, if not like half of our clients whose properties we were servicing were clients who had homes in New York who lived in Florida for the winter. So they had, house staff, and they had, cleaners, and they had house managers and people who needed to access the property. So that was just a job that needed to be done to make it accessible for them. And then in turn, when that was complete, they'd either, electronically transfer it through Zelle or Venmo, or even mail a check, or even give their credit card. Very few customers ended up paying cash, and we just found that digitally paying or online or credit card was the easiest for everyone. And then that just went straight into the bank account, and that went through to payroll and to paying, for cost of goods and stuff.
Oh, what about your friends? What about your peers? How were you able to, how was your social life? Did your business impact your social life? Was it hard to meet up with your friends and hang out? Talk about that a little bit.
Okay. That's a good question. So in the beginning, I was really focused on it. So I didn't, I'd say I didn't flaunt it around. I didn't tell everyone. I didn't walk in, I have a business. Like, I kept it pretty much to myself. I was working hard on it, as an entrepreneur and starting something up. It takes a lot of effort. You gotta, advertise. You have to get things together. You have to get product. You have to get your goods. You have to get, your plan in place, how you're going to execute certain things, wholesale prices on certain things, and getting the capital not only to start it, but then to also, advertise, get your name out there, get clients booked, get contracts written up. There's so many things that you have to deal with ahead of time before starting a business that I felt like socially kind of took a break for a little bit. I wasn't completely antisocial. I still hung out with friends. I still, went to school and I had an interaction with people, but I wasn't flaunting it around and telling everyone. I think once it got a little bit more well known and people started to hear about it, and it was the first, business that popped up on Google when you would either type snow removal or snow or anything that had to do with winter, Jacob snow removal, first thing that popped up. So I think I kind of, when that started to happen, there was a little bit of a negative impact. I had kids at the high school writing negative comments or negative reviews on Google. I don't know if that was jealousy. I don't know what that was, but, you're always going to have someone who wants to do what you're doing. And I think that, just focusing on your own path and focusing on what you want as an individual and not other people's opinions. I think that's the most important, because I think easily, some of the reviews that people left on Google, some people would have just stopped because they didn't want people at school to view them as, whatever it may be. And I think that, with all that and seeing all that, I think it's really important just to focus on what you want to do. Just be motivated and have your head straight, and kind of don't worry about what other people think, because at the end of the day, you're the one who's trying to be successful, and you're the only one who's going to make yourself successful. The other people's point of view, the other people's, commentary, that's really not going to do anything for you other than bring you down, only if you let it.
That's a good point. And it's interesting that you brought up the power of social media. So basically, you kept it quiet. You didn't want people to know about it. And then but you are on Google, and all of a sudden, the more people share your business, the more people tell their friends about it. Of course, that's going to raise your ranking on Google and all that, because people are recommending you. And then somehow it's going to trickle into your personal life. So how, can you talk about the impact of social media on your business?
Sure. So I think nowadays, definitely with the power of social media and what it does and how many people are on it, I think it's hard nowadays to really meet someone who does not have a social media account, unless, they don't have technology. But I think nowadays everyone's connected. Everyone at school we do school on computers now, and even in class, we're on computers. I think just social media in general has grown so big that honestly, you have to be careful, because people can say some stuff and it can really get back to your business. It can hurt you depending on what people say. And even what you say, you have to be careful with what you put out on social media and what you share, because I think that can definitely affect you and your business as well. But I think staying neutral, staying, just plain Jane, kind of still expressing yourself, because I think that's important. But, staying on a neutral line and not going in any extreme way can really help you personally and benefit your business. And also, any arguments you may have or things, just try to settle it kind of in person in a one-on-one. Don't ever take anything on the social media, because that can just have a lasting effect, not only on you, your business, if you're going to college or whatever you're doing, your future jobs. I think nowadays social media is just it's important, but it's also it's scary, and what it can do in the future. That's where I think, anything you post, just be careful, look at it, make sure that's really something that you want to be out there, because God only knows it can be saved, and it's going to be there forever. So I think in that sense, just be careful, be smart, and pay attention to really what you're posting, and your beliefs, and run with it, and stay motivated. Keep your head in the right space.
How do you do that? How does one stay motivated?
Personally, I felt the motivation was kind of like, the clients that just kept calling, the bigger and bigger we got. I think that was just like a Kickstarter motivation. I was just like super excited. I was stoked to have all these people calling and all these clientele ready to go. I had, I enjoyed the whole numbers aspect of it, and doing, storm reports at the end of the day, and changing everything up, and having, new employees and different teams working on different projects and different projects and clientele at the same time. I think that was super fun for me. And that kind of kept me motivated. And also the fact that, I was helping people along the way. So I think that was a major motivation for me. Also, my future goal was in real estate investment, which I'm working on now. So I think creating the capital for that and seeing those numbers grow and stuff like that, I think that was also a major motivation, and being happy. I don't think that necessarily the money was all that was a part of it. I think that the experience, the interaction with customers, getting to know your community and helping people out, and also making people happy, whether it's a service, a product, any type of business. You're in the business to make people happy. You're in the business to make clients enjoy whatever kind of service or product that you're giving or selling or making. So I think that was also kind of really a major part of it, is that when you see happy clients, you kind of look back and say, wow, like I did that. That was something that our business did as a whole. And we're really proud to stand for that and kind of support our community. So I think motivation is hard for some people, or in certain cases. You might not sell a lot in the beginning. You might not get all these calls. You might not have this many clients, but keep working at it. I think it's like anything else. The more you work at it, the more you learn, the better you're going to get, and honestly, the more you're going to grow.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. So now we're starting to wind down. So at this time, you have sold your business. So if you're comfortable, if you could talk about what made you decide to sell your business after all this time and effort that you put into it.
Sure. So the major kind of kickstart of selling and moving forward from snow removal and everything like that was I moved to Charleston, South Carolina from New York. I kind of had a change in life and everything that happened there. So that was also a great point in time for me to look and say, hey, I've always wanted to be in the real estate investment game. I wanted to grow properties. I want to buy one, rent it out and continue to and get more and more and kind of create a passive income from that, along with more entrepreneurial things and starting another business down the road. So I think that was kind of a great step to be able to, one, financially get out of that business and profit and take those profits and reinvest in a sense in myself and business in the future. But also not being in New York kind of played a big role of not being able to kind of manage.
How to have fun, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
The way that I wanted to make my clients happy. I definitely tried to manage that in the first month or two. It worked out, but it didn't work to my liking and to our standards as a company. So I think in that sense, that's when I made the final decision to kind of just sell and move on and get rid of those contracts and as a whole, and kind of take that as, wow, like what we did in 2 years is astronomical. We grew the business. We had so much profit. We had so much community support, and taking that as a stepping stone into growing that bigger. I think it's important as a young adult or a young entrepreneur, or even an entrepreneur in general, to understand where your stepping stone stops and where the new one begins. I think it's important to see and to grow and to make money and to have that experience. But I think it's also important to understand that at a certain time, certain things are going to end and certain things are going to begin, like a new chapter. And I think that was the perfect time for me to kind of close that chapter of my first business. So much learning in there, so much gratitude for what has happened and everything like that, and just open that new chapter. And I think with the move to a new state and everything like that, I think that was like the great point to be like, hey, this is really what I need to do and what I need to focus on. Also, with going into college in a year or so, I think that was also a way for me to focus on my junior year in high school, and kind of focus on college, as well as working on the whole real estate side of everything and getting that together and moving forward. So, that I can start to grow and to start to build that stepping stone out to where I want it to be personally.
And what does the future hold for you? So are you going to start another business? Is everything on hold? And I know you talked about real estate, but are you making your own real estate company? Are you working for someone else? Can you talk about that a little bit
Sure. So I mean, being so young, I'm still 17, so I'm trying to figure that whole thing out. I think, it's important to have a plan, but I think it's okay not to know what you want to do. And as of right now, the track that I'm headed on, or what at least I think that I'm going to be headed on, in the next few years, is going to be going to college, kind of getting a degree in some sort of business, finance, entrepreneurship kind of field with real estate and kind of some aspect of law. That's kind of where my head's in the game right now. But I think the whole real estate idea and investing in that is being able to create a passive income that I don't necessarily have to work, every 40 hours a week, to do a job. Obviously, I'm interested in having a career and using my education that I'm on track to get, is important, and not wasting that. But I think it's kind of in the space of where things take me. Right now, that's kind of where I'm at, growing those real estate investments, buying new properties. I think honestly, down the road, maybe a goal would be to open my own brokerage. I think that's something that's just lingering. That's something I still have to think about. Still something that I'm working on. But as of right now, school is kind of where my head's at. But I think moving forward, and even for younger kids or younger people, entrepreneurs, anything like that, I think, whatever works for you is what's important. If keeping a business open and following through with that for multiple years, and going to college later or not going to college, whatever works for you and wherever you want to go, I think that's the most important. And I think, understanding that college is not for everyone, and that you don't have to go to college right after high school. You can take a year off, you can do different things. I think that's also really important to understand, because don't fall into the trap of, you have to know what you want to do for the rest of your life at 18, 17 years old. I think that's kind of a lot for someone to focus on, especially with the difference in maturity levels, like we were speaking about earlier, and everything like that. I think it takes time, and I think you'll know what you like to do when it comes. The time will come, and I think you just have to focus and be smart and constantly work at what you think you want to do, and I think you'll just know. I think it's important to be happy with what you do and not to be unhappy moving forward.
Awesome. All right, so we're winding down. So do you have any final advice for the people watching right now? Maybe any young people that want to get into entrepreneurship, or anyone in general that wants to get into entrepreneurship, or anything, any final words that you'd like to share?
Of course. So, I mean, I'll just say go for it. I think, like, the way I think about it is, if you don't do it, you're never going to know if you could have been successful or not. So go for it. Try your hardest, work hard, be motivated, put your head in the game. Don't let people's opinions get in your way. If it's your parents, or if they're not being supportive, or your friends, or your family, or whatever it may be, don't let them, hinder you from doing what you enjoy doing, or what you think you want to do in the future. And other than that, just work hard and be yourself, because at the end of the day, no one can take that away from you. And yeah, it's going to be hard, and it's going to be a learning experience. But I think at the end of the day, if you do it, the way that you figure out for yourself, and not follow anyone else's, step-by-step plan, that's not always going to work for what you want to do. I think if you follow what you feel, I think you'll be happy and successful, and you'll find yourself in a lot better place than if you did not listen to yourself, and you listen to the other people around you, and you let that get to you. I think that will have more of a negative impact on you than working hard and being motivated and just being successful. Because I think it'll come with time. Just work at it. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Email me, message me on social media. I'm happy to answer questions, or mentor you, or if you have certain things that you need help with or understanding, if it's numbers or customer service or whatever it may be, I can try my hardest to help. I'm a great, use me as a resource, because I think that it's nice to have a resource your age you can reach out to and kind of understand, who's been through the situation, who's understood the things that you are looking to get into. So please, please, please don't hesitate. Reach out, message me, email me, whatever. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever you guys may find, or whatever's linked below. Feel free to reach out. I'll answer any questions, and I wish you guys the best of luck, and try hard and be motivated, because you guys can be successful too.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. And on that note, I'm going to put up your banner. So you guys heard him. If you have any questions, you're looking for mentorship, you want to know more about, running a business, managing a business, or even selling a business, definitely reach out to him. His contact information is scrolling below. You mentioned you're on Snapchat. What's your Snapchat account?
Jacob.wojo.
Let me make that edit right now. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm just going to make that edit real quick to your banner. So Snapchat, what is it?
Jacob.wojo.
Fabulous. All right. So I just made that revision there to your banner. So if you have any further questions, if you are, again, looking for mentorship, if you need advice, maybe you need a speaker for an event, Jacob is available. Feel free to reach out to him on social media, and you can also email him.
I'd say email's the best. Email, Instagram, either of those are probably the best. But I'm open. I'm here to help y'all. So I think it's good to have a good mentor and kind of resource available.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So again, you guys heard it. His information is scrolling below. So definitely take advantage of that information, and feel free to reach out to him, pick his brain, ask his questions, get that mentorship, especially if you are a parent and you have children that want to get into business. Jacob is a great resource. Or if you're a youngin' and you want to get into it, again, Jacob is a great resource. So definitely take advantage of that. And of course, the information will be in the description, but you can grab it now while you see the banner. Grab it now while you still can. All right, Jacob, thank you so much for joining me today.
Of course.
And I'm going to put you backstage now. And it's just you and me, guys. So now I'm going to put up my little banner here. So we have reached the conclusion of our episode. Thank you so much for joining us today. Please check out our YouTube channel for more videos and clips. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let us know what you thought about this episode by leaving a comment in the comments section below. And if you would like to learn more about A Step Ahead Tutoring Services, you can follow us on our various social platforms, which you see scrolling below. And you can visit us online. Our website is www.astepaheadtutoringservices.com. And one last thing before I disappear, just gonna make sure I have this ready to load. Haha, there we are. We are also seeking financial contributions to our crowdfunding campaign on iFundWomen.com. iFundWomen is the go-to funding marketplace for women-owned businesses and the people who want to support them with access to capital, coaching, and connections. So I am going to play a little video that will explain more about that.
Hey there, have you heard of us? We're a small team of tutors here at A Step Ahead Tutoring Services. We believe that education and information should be accessible to everyone, regardless of income, race, or creed. We're dedicated to making this happen, but we need your help. Please consider donating to our crowdfunding campaign. No amount is too small. Your donation will allow us tutors to remain employed, offer free and low-cost services, and reach out to families nationwide. With your help, we can tackle the academic challenges of our students and the emotional, mental, and behavioral changes that result from these challenges. As a bonus, we can improve our communities in the process. Support us today. We're a for-profit company. Your donation may not be tax-deductible. Please consult a tax professional.
And that's it for our episode today. Thank you so much for joining us. I will see you next time. Signing off.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.